Hi, my name is Jackie Rodriguez, and I'm a senior at St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I am also an Ambassador Girl Scout working on my Gold Award. For my award, I am making a career video to help high school students get a little insight on some professions. Enjoy. I would like to introduce you guys to Mr. George Kramer. He is a graduate from UF. So George, can you give us a brief description of your average workday here at Mets and just go into Nico?
Well, actually, we don't really have average work days, and the reason for that is, we are specialized. Our work is in Latin America, so it could be that 1 week I might be in Argentina or Chile or Peru, basically anywhere in South America. So for the most part, it's there's a lot of travel involved. But for when I am in the office, it's dealing a lot with phone calls, with emails. It's working a lot on Excel and just dealing with clients and their needs.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that is this the job you thought it would be like, or is this completely different than you imagined?
I'd say it's probably a little bit different than what I imagined. I mean, when I went to school, when you're taking accounting classes, you're thinking that you're going to do tax and audit, but this is a completely different field. I mean, we actually don't do any tax or audit work. So it's different, but I think it's different in a good sense.
When did you realize that you would specialize in forensics accounting, apart from accounting?
Well, I've always actually wanted to be in the FBI originally. So when I was a freshman at UF, I actually took I was a criminology major, and I spoke to a friend of mine who his dad is in the FBI, and he told me that in order to be in the FBI, you should either go into accounting or get your law degree. And I knew I didn't want to go to law school, so I went into accounting. And once I graduated, I actually found this job on the internet, and I kind of, once I started, I never looked back, and I never went back into thinking about joining the FBI.
So you said you went to UF. Other than the University of Florida, are there any colleges that are good for being an accountant?
There are. I actually went to UF for my undergrad, so I went there for the first 4 years, and then I went to Florida State to get my master's. Other than those two schools, I know the Florida Atlantic University in Boca Raton is actually good for forensic accounting. They actually have a master's in forensic accounting program.
How many years in college did it take to become an accountant?
So to become an accountant, most firms require you to get your CPA, which is a certified public accountant. And in order to do that, you need 5 years of university experience. So what a lot of people do is they'll get their undergraduate work, which is 4 years, and then go back and also get their master's, which is a year. So it's 5 years in total.
Is it easy to get a job right out of college?
I would say that it's a high demand position. Forensic accounting is a specialized niche, but I'd say if you graduate from a university with a 5-year degree in accounting, it's most likely you should be able to get a job pretty easily.
All right, and now just to get an overall idea of the deep information of accounting, how many days do you work usually and how many hours a day?
So a typical work week would be 5 days a week, and it can be anywhere from 45 to 60 hours. So if it's a week that I'm in the office Monday to Friday, then it's typically maybe 8 to 6, give or take, on kind of a normal week. But then when we're traveling, it's obviously much more than that, because you've got overnight flights if you're flying somewhere where it's a 8 or 9 hour flight. And just the demands of traveling are a little bit more, so that's when it gets more towards the 60-hour week.
Oh wow! Yeah. Is there any take-home work that you have to do?
There is. Sometimes there's take-home work. It's not the norm, but it would be expected if there's something that's due, or there's some kind of client demand that requires you to take work home. That's what we do.
Do you have to do any continuing education to keep this degree?
You do, and it's for your CPA. And so for the CPA, it's 80 hours of continuing professional education every 2 years. And for the CFE, which is a certified fraud examiner, that's 20 hours every year.
That's a lot.
It can be, yeah.
Does your job require a lot of interaction with people?
It does. It actually requires a lot of interaction because we have 14 people in our office alone. So you're constantly dealing with people that you work with, and then you're constantly dealing with the client and also their staff. So it is I'd say a fair amount of interaction with other people.
And when you travel as well, there's interaction. What do
Yes.
you do when you travel?
Yeah, so when we travel, it can be, so with what we do in terms of the forensic accounting part of it, is we will go to a business that had some kind of financial damage, whether it be from a flood, from an earthquake, a hurricane, something that destroyed the business. So what we do is we go and we meet with either the CFO or the controller or a risk manager from that company. We speak to them, they tell us what happened, and we try to figure out what their damages were.
Throughout the day or when you go on your trips, is there any specific uniform or clothing you're required to wear?
There's no specific uniform. On a day-to-day basis, we just wear business casual, which can be a polo shirt or a button-down shirt with black pants or khaki pants. And every once in a while, depending on the client's needs, you may be required to wear a suit.
All right. In this office or in accounting in general, are there more men or women in the field?
I'd say in general, there's probably more men in the forensic accounting side. Our office is about 50% because we have, there's 7 women out of the 14 of us. But I'd say in general, it would probably be more men.
Well, it was very interesting meeting you, and we learned a lot today. Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.